What's up, my friends? You're very welcome along to what's going to be an angry player ratings here on Anfield Agenda after Liverpool have been humbled by Atalanta by 3-0 at Anfield. A result that leaves us requiring a miracle in the second leg in Italy to go through. A miracle that performance and display tonight showed no signs of coming. I'm going to go through, as I always do, and give the guys and the manager a score out of 10, asking you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Drop a like on the video if you enjoy it, although let's be honest, there's not much to enjoy right now. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do. I want to start off by just correcting a super chat that was missed from the match reaction from Paul and Alfie. I found it now and I'm just going to quickly read it out. Hi Craig, Paul and young Alfie here. Sorry we had such a poor result. Craig, do you think this result was due? We need to get a grip of the club. Thanks so much for all your hard work. Keep positive, my friend Paul and Alfie. Thank you guys so much. I apologise I missed that in the live stream. And yes, I think the result was coming, mate, because we've got away with it a few times. And much love to you and young Alfie. So, my friends, let's get into the player ratings now and start off with Caoimhín Kelleher. He was, of course, I won't say at fault, but certainly could have done a lot better for the first goal. But he did make some saves again at times in the game where we required them, and those in front of him were giving him absolutely no protection. So today, and one of the higher scores of the day, is going to be a 6 for Caoimhín Kelleher. Make no mistake, I do acknowledge thoroughly that he should have been better on the first goal, but he has made some good saves, and I think we can't be looking at him for the reason we lost this game. Now, we can start to look at the reasons, and one of them is, well, Joe Gomez and that defence as a whole. I'm not going in on Joe solely here. I think Canate and Verge are bigger culprits, but today we had a senior pro out there in Joe, and we needed leaders, and there was none to be had. And it is unacceptable that is going to be potentially Jurgen Klopp's last game at Anfield in Europe as our manager, and nobody out there. Nobody stood up to be counted, including Joe, who has been a saving grace at times this season. I'm going to give him a score of 5 today, and that's one of the higher ones you're going to see for the defence. Now I move on to one of two absolute disgusting performances. Ibrahima Konate was a joke this evening. The space for Scamacca for their second goal, I don't know what type of centre-back allows somebody 6 or 7 yards on them. It is quite simply pathetic. When he wasn't doing that, he was going Harlem Globetrotter and handling the ball. Just another weak, lost centre-back performance from somebody who was capable of so much better. Today, Ibu gets a 3. The man alongside him, our captain, Virgil van Dijk, no leadership there. You can put all the pre-match huddles together you want. You can give all the sound bites to the journalists you want. Actions are what speak. And those were not the actions of a leader. He set the tone with his meek, poor chasing back. Coop Miners, he had 2 or 3 yards on him, and Verge slows down to a lazy walk, and then Coop Miners pinches the ball off and we give away a throw-in. Not good enough, and that's our captain. He should be setting the tone. Hang your head in shame tonight, Verge, because that was shocking. Unacceptable on every level, and certainly not gonna. I don't think Michael Edwards is going to be kicking his door down to throw money at him if he keeps performing like that. Not good enough from our captain. A score of 3 out of 10, and we need solutions, and he needs to be part of the solution because it is not good enough. Next up, Kostas Tsimikas should never play for us again. And I'm not saying that reactionary, he's just not good enough. I've said it all season. I would sell him in the summer. Look how far away from the action he was when they created chances. He was halfway up the pitch, 15, 20 yards away from the attack that was coming down his side. Nowhere near acceptable. Completely lost, doesn't belong in this team, cannot defend, nothing else to say. Yes, if you're looking for somebody going forward and you need something late in the game, throw him on perhaps usually, but he can't defend. He will never be the starting left back for this football club, and he gets a 2 from me today because he was a disgrace. Next up, Endo. Look, good performances all season. Very lot to like about him. Maybe this was one game too far from, but again, we just capitulated. Nobody out there tonight had the hunger and the desire to match the occasion. Shocking. And unfortunately, Endo was part of that, so he gets a score of 5 out of 10. He is better than he showed tonight, as are a lot of those players, which is what makes it all the more infuriating. Gonna repeat it before anyone starts commenting in the chat. This could have been Jurgen's last game at Anfield in Europe as Liverpool manager, and those players turned in that performance. Next up, Alexis McAllister, who has been our saviour of late, a tremendous footballer with a very bright future ahead of him. He tried and toiled today, but he just couldn't put in the level of performances he has in recent times. So I'm going to give him a score of 4 today. We know how good he is, and he has really stepped up recently. Just today, again, just part of a team that did not perform. Next up, Curtis Jones. Didn't take his opportunity to start that game today. And again, nor did anybody else. Just subpar on every level. We were just wasteful. And what really got to me was we looked like we threw in the towel early and we were resorting to hopeful punts into the box rather than precision, rather than trying to find a way to break down that defence. We were just hoping something dropped, hoping for a worldie from distance, and it didn't come. And Jones again just wasn't at it today. So for him, a score of 3. Next up, Cody Gakpo. Ironically, I think one of his more decent games for Liverpool, and some promising signs there from him. But just those around him that got the opportunities, again wasteful. I didn't like the fact that he was dropping deep. Maybe it was to create that space in behind for Darwin, but again, I'd rather Cody in front of goal, because at the moment, nobody can score. Salah can't score, Darwin can't score. They all just look like they've met each other for the first time. I'm going to give Gakpo a score of 7. I do think he was one of our better players today. Next up, Harvey Elliott, somebody who I've been, of course, a huge fan of, somebody who I don't really like playing on the right wing. Today he came close, hit the crossbar on the post with a strike. A little bit wasteful in possession at times, but there was also some occasions where he was in space on the right and we didn't get a head up and give it out to him. I don't like that he was taken off at half time. Substitutions today again seem to weaken us rather than strengthen us. That being said though, Elliott doesn't get away from criticism. Today he gets a score of 6 out of 10. Darwin, what to do, lads? What to do? You can see what he's capable of. You can see his attributes, the physicality, the running, the chasing, but you can't excuse being through on goal and using your instep when you need to curl the ball away from the keeper to lift it over him, and he put it 2 or 3 yards wide. Just unacceptable for a €100 million striker to be that poor in front of goal. I really love Darwin and I want him to do well. But how many times? We cannot keep wasting chances in the business end of the season. So for Darwin today, a 3. Andy Robertson should have started the game, in my opinion. I know it's easy in hindsight, but again, he was part of the hopeful punts into the box, getting the ball on the left side. It didn't even look like we had an idea of what we were doing. It was just lash it into the box and hope for a second ball, hope for someone to get into the end of it. No methodically looking to break them down, no plan, just hope. And hope wasn't enough today. Robbo gets a score of 4. Dominic Szoboszlai, embarrassing is the only word I can use. To give away the ball like that at a time in the game where we were on the ropes and gift them that 3rd goal, gift it to them with absolute stupidity of the highest order. He knows better. Unacceptable for a €60 million or €70 million footballer who is technically top notch to do that in that environment again. You've got to ask, is something going on that we don't know about at the club? Because the fall off from the United FA Cup game to now has been embarrassing. Szoboszlai was disgustingly bad when he came on. Score of 2 for Dom. Mohamed Salah. I think the time has come for us to part ways with Mo. Not off today's performance, but it just feels like some of these players have come to the end of their time at the club and the spark just isn't there anymore. Mo didn't start today, so he is absent from a lot of the criticism. But again, I ask, did the substitutions make us any better? No, and he was part of that as well. So today for Mo, a score of 4. I'm just trying to figure out how we piece this back together for the weekend. Diaz, again, maybe should have started. Came on, lots of endeavour as always from him, but lots of headless chicken running as well. Running straight into players, not shooting. Him and Salah just take too many touches before they shoot. Time and time again, they have an opportunity to get a strike away, but they want that extra touch. It allows the defender to close them down, and we get blocked. Look at the sheer amount of shots we take in a game versus how many of them actually go on target. Nowhere near good enough. Today, when he came on, I thought that he just ran around like a bit of a headless chicken. Loads of energy and endeavour, but not much guile or creativity. So a 5 for him. Diogo Jota, thank God we have this man back from injury, because he did more in 3 or 4 minutes when he came on, than most of those forwards did in the entire game. Won us a free kick on the edge of the box with his direct running and skill, and I'm just glad to have him back, and hopefully he can fire a few goals to help us stay in this title race. We need him right now. His performance, I'm giving him a 6 for his cameo from the bench. And the manager, last but certainly not least, he isn't exempt from criticism today. He made the team selection. He will tell us he didn't disrespect Atalanta. He will tell us he put out a team that he thought can get a result. Well, he didn't. They failed. He failed, and it's unacceptable. Was the decision to tell the club he was leaving and announce it publicly so far out the right one? I don't know the answer to that. But what I see is the initial bounce we had from it has well and truly worn off, and now we're again left with anger, frustration, and what might have been. Not good enough from Kloppo and the coaching staff tonight, so they get a score of 3 out of 10. These are my honest player ratings today. It isn't just reactionary, it is, I think, a fair assessment of what we've seen out there. Unacceptable on every front. Let us know your thoughts. Do you agree? Do you disagree? And what can we do to keep salvaging this season? We do not want another season where we finish up with the League Cup and a story about what might have been. We've had enough of them over the years. Over to you guys.